Welcome, and thank you for your interest in Relevel. Before we get started, we know that you may have some opinions or questions about the recent meltdown in crypto markets. As a heads up, this will be addressed in our presentation. So with that out of the way, let's dive right in. We firmly believe that Bitcoin is integral to the future prosperity of human civilization. Our highest institutions, governments, and their central banks have proven to be less than trustworthy. This is self-evident when you look at the current record-setting rates of inflation and the subsequent destabilizing global conflict. As Ernest Hemingway wrote, the first panacea of a mismanaged nation is inflation of the currency. The second is war. At Relevel, our goal is to build the decentralized infrastructure required for a sustainable future. Renewable energy and crypto mining are both standalone high-growth industries, but that's not to say that they aren't without their challenges. Our core premise is that at scale, the problems and benefits of these two industries can be used to directly complement one another. Our aim is to re-level the playing field and open up sustainable growth in both sectors. Bitcoin mining faces four main challenges. The first of these challenges is energy security, as Bitcoin miners are incentivized to locate their operations wherever electricity is cheapest. However, the cheapest electricity may not be the most reliable. The second challenge that Bitcoin faces is political risk. Authoritarian governments can change their positions quickly and sometimes wipe out a whole business model overnight. Look no further for good examples than what happened in China and then in Kazakhstan. The third challenge is associated with environmental, social, and governance factors, or more commonly known as ESG. The common criticism is that Bitcoin mining is highly dependent on dirty, carbon-emitting forms of energy. When combined, government and social license risks generate significant headwinds to network reliability and investment confidence. Lastly, the fourth challenge is cooling, as the electrical consumption of Bitcoin mining generates significant heat waste, which has to be discharged. Hotter climates make this even more difficult, as water availability in many places can be limited. The challenges facing Bitcoin mining are of different intensities at different global locations. However, Tasmania in Australia is very well positioned to address all four of these challenges. First, for energy security, Tasmania has a very well developed hydroelectric and wind-based energy network. When it comes to reliability and uptime, this energy network is amongst the best and most stable in the entire world. Next, politically speaking, Australia is an old and stable democracy built on the same common law system as Great Britain, the United States, Canada, and New Zealand. That's to say that the sudden action by autocratic leaders is much less of a concern. When it comes to the environment, Tasmania is 99% powered by wind and hydroelectricity, and it also has huge amounts of untapped wind capacity. So much so, in fact, that the state government intends to make Tasmania the battery of the nation by developing its renewable resources to produce over 200% of Tasmania's own needs. Lastly, for cooling, Tasmania's cold climate provides us with convenient access to 40-degree Fahrenheit water from a nearby hydro generator. So, all in all, as you can see, our location in Tasmania alleviates Bitcoin's key concerns and empowers us with a strong social license. Let's now discuss renewable energy. At point of generation, Tasmania's renewable energy is some of the most affordable on the entire planet. Historically, it's averaged around 3 cents USD per kilowatt hour. However, there are three key issues. The first challenge are the low returns on renewable energy investment due to Tasmania's small local customer base. The second issue, especially with wind, is the mismatch between wind generation and the usage profile of most large energy consumers. For example, aluminum smelters require a reliable source of supply, since unplanned interruptions to their business operations are extremely destructive to their business. Lastly, wind generators are dependent on spot market revenues, which happen to fluctuate inversely with supply. When the wind is blowing intensely, the spot market of energy can and does fall into negative numbers. Bitcoin mining solves this. Miners have a very unique customer profile, as they are infinitely scalable and they can be flexible in usage without spin up or down harm to their operations. Bitcoin mining essentially solves all three problems faced by renewable energy in Tasmania. We are the ideal foundational customer, especially for stranded energy assets. We are also very forgiving to fluctuations in energy supply. And further, we provide a floor price for new market entrants developing wind farms. In essence, we benefit the market at large as we act to re-level prices by absorbing cheap energy and incentivizing additional wind development. Let's now discuss the journey that led us here. In 2014, Andrew Thaler acquired a solar farm, but unfortunately found that the returns offered by spot markets were far too low. This led him to, in 2015, make the then radical decision to repurpose his solar energy to power crypto miners, making him one of the first to do so. Next, in 2019, Adam and Andrew came together and were commissioned to design and build an 80 megawatt mining project in Launceston, Tasmania. Adam, by the way, is a founding member of Blockchain Australia. He's built a getting paid in Bitcoin business called Get Paid in Bitcoin, and he also runs Longtel, one of the larger Australian broadband internet service providers. More recently, in 2021, Brett and George joined the team to explore the viability of building our own Bitcoin mining operation. Brett has an energy policy bachelor's, and he's also a former energy policy analyst who founded energy metering company Shinbone Labs. I personally have tremendous experience in financing solar energy projects, and I've provided executive leadership to several successful startups in the US. So in 2022, we identified an ideal site in Tasmania for mining operations, and that's when Renewable was incorporated and born. All in all, we've completed our founding team, we've locked down a site with a 25-year contract, and we intend to build an initial 10 megawatts of Bitcoin mining capacity. Our founding team is ideally positioned to create an environmentally and economically sustainable business by applying our expertise in 4 key areas: finance, technology, energy markets, and regulatory policy. Our secret sauce for success is our proven backgrounds in all areas required to build and scale a sustainable crypto mining business. Our business plan is based on a 5-milestone vision. First, as I mentioned, we'll build 10 megawatts of mining capacity on our initial site in Tasmania. Second, we'll leverage several months of operational performance data to increase our mining capacity to 80 megawatts, primarily using debt financing. Next, as we scale and refine the hardware and software for optimal operations, we'll leverage that knowledge by bringing to market a modular turnkey-ready mining product for commercial sites and a SaaS platform for managing mining operations at any scale. Fourth, we'll upsize our mining capacity, again, up to 320 megawatts. And fifth, we'll expand mining operations to new sites in southern New Zealand. Now that we've talked about our vision for the future, let's switch gears and explore the competitive landscape. As crypto adoption has grown, a number of public and private mining companies have emerged to capitalize on the attractive returns they receive for facilitating proof-of-work trust validation. Generally speaking, the best returns are generated by miners with the lowest energy costs and the highest uptime. However, some headwinds have emerged from an environmental perspective, as on average, roughly half of the energy used for mining comes from carbon-emitting sources. So, how do we compare? Across the board, Renewable is strategically positioned to have competitive advantages in all key areas. Our site in Tasmania is 99% powered by green, ESG-friendly energy. Further, Tasmania has cheap and abundant energy, historically averaging around 3 cents USD per kilowatt hour. Tasmania also has a stable political environment with crypto-friendly regulation to attract business innovation. And last but not least, we have industry-leading expertise in scaling future mining capacity via issuance of structured debt facilities. Understandably, many are still hesitant when it comes to investing in crypto. So let's talk about why Bitcoin and why now. It's no secret that Bitcoin has dropped 70% from its recent all-time high. This drop in demand is a product of a surge in fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which in itself is driven by a collapse of a number of non-Bitcoin market participants. These companies brought the whole crypto lending system down by using reckless lending practices that promised unsustainably high yields in return for new customer deposits. Bitcoin has successfully bounced back from 3 prior downturn cycles in 2011, 2015, and 2020. All of these proved to be a healthy and natural pruning process that cleared out the froth. The digital asset space is now primed for regulatory clarity, with the Biden administration issuing an executive order for ensuring responsible development of digital assets in March 2022. There is currently $300 trillion in institutional capital sitting on the sidelines, just waiting for regulatory guidelines. A conservative 1% allocation into the new digital asset class will translate into $3 trillion in additional market cap for Bitcoin. Let's talk numbers. We modeled our growth and investment economics using industry-accepted stock-to-flow price projections for Bitcoin, which we'd be happy to share with you as part of diligence. In summary, once we secure capital, it will take us 6 months to build out and spin up mining operations. We will break even in 15 months, and over a 5-year horizon, we will generate an internal rate of return exceeding 300%, with a 70x multiple on invested capital. We're passionate about the future and we're ready to get started. We're raising $38 million USD to build out 10 megawatts of ESG-friendly mining capacity. We'll be building out future expansion primarily via debt issuance. Over the course of our investment horizon, we'll stack over 15,000 Bitcoin in our treasury, which on an initial investment basis offers an enormous discount on the current price of Bitcoin. Join us as we build out the future.